If you were asked what he thought may be a dumb question, but it's really not dumb at all. Looking at one of my videos, he wondered, what is that flagstaff-like pole that is sticking up from the bow of these lakeboats? Now, for a boat nerd, that's a reflex answer. But remember, the purpose of these videos is to get the information out to everyone. And I have, in fact, actually answered that same question to folks while standing on the viewing stand at the locks at Sault Ste. Marie. So not everybody knows this. The answer is, this is called a steering pole. And in a few minutes, I'll show you how it works. In fact, steering poles have been used since the early days of steamboating on the Great Lakes. It was implemented when steamers stopped using schooner hulls and thus lost the jib boom to steer by. Since the pilot house is at the forward end of the boat, a point of reference is needed to allow the eye of the wheelsman to direct the vessel. The farther away from that point, the more precise the course will be. Lake mariners know every landmark along the shore and especially along the riverbanks. From houses to smokestacks to assorted towers, they know when and where to look ashore and line up on the landmark. They do so by, quote, putting the pole on it, unquote. The captain or mate will sight the landmark and tell the wheelsman, see that house with the red roof? Put your pole right on it. The same technique is used at night with known lights. Plus, the end of the steering pole itself is illuminated to help doing that. Here's the JL Mothé with her pole tip illuminated. Here we are aboard the Mothé, and you can see how the wheelsman views the steering pole. It's actually fascinating to watch these mariners navigate with a steering pole. Even though the method is more than a century and a half old, it still works, and it is still the way it's done. But for the pole, you just keep the steering pole's tip and the landmark lined up. If the landmark is off to one side, the wheelsman simply turns the boat until the end of the steering pole is right on the landmark. They know exactly where and when to pick the next landmark. Of course, he uses the heading indicator too. Saltwater sailors call this method dog barking. The legend is that every turn along the river has a house, and every house has a dog. Likewise, every lakeboat has a dog too, and all of the dogs know one another. When the lakeboat approaches a turn, the dog ashore senses his friend on the boat is coming and starts barking. In reply, the dog on the oarboat starts barking too. And when the dog on the boat starts barking, the captain knows it's time to turn. Of course, that's not true, but it's fun to tell. Used since the 1840s, the steering pole is still being used today in spite of GPS and digital radar displays.